Welcome back to another episode of the I in Kind podcast. I'm your host, Ethan, and once again joining me is my co-host, Everet.
Hey, everybody. I'm super psyched to be here. How are you doing, Ethan?
I am doing well.
If you haven't already, go check out the Stand for Kind's anti-bully and suicide prevention message, You Matter, on Stand for Kind's YouTube channel.
And while you're there, watch the music video for Stand for Kind's produced suicide prevention song, Choose to Stay, featuring Ben Olsen, Dakota Lotus, and Sophie Pecora.
Today's podcast is sponsored by Stand for Kind. Take a stand against bullying in your school and visit www.standforkind.com.
It's a new month, and we've got a new theme this month, and that is kindness. In fact, this coming Friday, November 13th, is World Kindness Day. This special day promotes the importance of being kind to each other, to yourself, and to the world.
It seems almost fitting to have World Kindness Day just after this year's election. We've seen a lot of political and civil unrest this year, and more than ever, we need the reminder to show kindness.
Ain't that the truth? Anyway, joining us today as we talk about kindness is actress, comedian, and mental health advocate Mayan Lopez and Miss Arlington's Outstanding Teen 2020 and founder of the Spread Kindness Movement, Gwennyth Simmerman.
How you guys doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm really excited for this, and
Yeah, I'm doing really good, and I'm super excited to be on this podcast with you all, and I think it's going to be a really fun time.
I'm very excited to get to know you guys. This is going to be super fun.
Nice.
As you know, the name of the podcast is the I in Kind podcast. The I in word kind represents each of us. There is no kind without the I, because kindness is an individual effort, but the efforts of many individuals become the efforts of many. So to you guys, how does one start?
Well, I think kindness first starts with yourself. I think self-love is, and you can prevail that to other people and start uplifting them and encouraging others. Once you find that self-love, then you're able to love others.
And for me, I've noticed that I feel like it's an increase of self-awareness. I think it's keeping your head up, keeping your head out of your phone and looking for kindness around you, looking for a way to make those acts like tangible, even just with the people that are closest around you, listen to them, make amends, especially in the climate that we're in right now. Everyone is in their homes stuck, and people are hurting, people are stressed out, and just a simple text, just a simple call, something small can mean the biggest thing. And it can make you feel good. And that's what kindness does, is that it doesn't even make the other person feel good. It makes you feel good as well. You feel some sort of accomplishment. And I think that's something that's wonderful, is like you almost get like a high. And I mean, for me, I always love to, open a door for someone, or if I see someone having groceries, it's small things like that add up.
Yeah, I agree. I like how you both kind of started off saying that it starts with ourself. You both said it starts with self-love, telling yourself that you matter and stuff like that, which is the whole point behind it. And that actually relates back to the title, the I in Kind podcast. It starts with us and believing in ourselves. We don't want to compare ourselves to others, see if we can measure up or anything like that. As long as we are the I in Kind to ourselves, we can be the I in Kind to others. And I kind of like how you mentioned that, man, how it's a two-way street. If you're kind to someone, they'll take it in and they'll probably pay it forward as well. You get a door for somebody, they'll get the door at the end of the day for someone as well. It's a two-way street. Starts with us being kind to ourselves, and then it leads on and be kind to everybody else as well.
Also, just like what you were saying, Everett, like just forgiving ourselves. We have so much high expectations for ourselves and how we're supposed to be seen, or, sometimes kindness can be seen as something that you have to do. You don't have to do anything. Like, you do it because you want to, and you're the only one that gets to judge yourself.
Kindness is not all about, it's not a scripted thing. You can't just script kindness. You do something kind because, like you said, you just want to do it, right? So if somebody wants to get the door for me and I don't let them, I just get the door for myself. I may feel better thinking that I'm individualistic, but they might not feel better because they didn't help somebody else's day. Now they're kind of putting themselves down. So I think accepting other people's kindness and stuff like that is something we kind of have to overstress a little bit, because some people just try to push away some kindness just so that they can be, strong as their own individual, rather than, letting people be kind to them.
Spreading kindness means that it's, at least for me, going beyond yourself, looking around, and because we have our phones, we have the things that we have to do every day. You're on an errand, like someone like interrupts you, for trying to be kind, you're like, oh, what are you doing? Because it kind of breaks up that. But if we look around and you see the people around you, you see opportunities. Like if you look, there are people, there are things that need help, and life will present those moments for you.
There's an interesting quote on a website called The Comic Book Debate in an article by Jonathan Bell. It says, "Why is it that being kind is sometimes, more often than not, viewed as being weak? Every one of us has the potential within ourselves to lend a helping hand, provide words of motivation, and even go outside of our way to emphasize with others what they are feeling down. Sometimes that can be viewed as weak. Others, it can seem as an individual is timid and soft. On the contrary, people who seem to be ill-mannered or brusque, more times than not, are often viewed as strong, commendable people." What are your thoughts?
I think that kindness is more of a strength than a weakness, and the real weakness is negativity to me. And I think that if we all were a lot kinder, people would be very happy and we would have better mental health.
Absolutely. You took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say strength as well. I think it takes such strength, it takes such courage, and you have to be brave to be kind. Like, you have to have conviction in yourself to be able to extend yourself. It takes a certain person, or it's a muscle that you can build to be able to look outside of yourself, to be able to reach in to someone who is struggling, who may be, putting their walls up, and it gives you power, and to be empathetic. I think for me, what I've learned is that it's been really hard for me. Usually I've been hurt a lot in my life. I've been bullied, I've been hurt. So I always think someone has the worst intention for me, and that they're just trying to hurt me, and so that I have to protect myself. But I feel like what I've learned is to look at people's deepest needs and their best intentions.
People take advantage of others who are being kind to get the most out of them so that they can
Be lazy.
Be lazy. Yes, exactly. And it's just not something we need.
Yeah, but to go along with that, seeing kindness is sometimes seen as being weak, and that's because kindness, like the most part that we see out of it, is somebody doing something for somebody else to make their day better, or just to be kind. So back to the door example, getting somebody's door for the same day, or for somebody, if you get the door for them, they think that other people might think that they're weak because they could have gotten the door for themselves. And that's where, seeing kindness as being weak really comes from, is it's not them being able to do it for themselves because they need somebody else to do it for them.
Right.
But that's not at all what it means. What it is I want to be able to do something for somebody else just because I want to be kind to them. Like, that's where it starts, is being able to see where it comes from and what it can be. We also talked about putting up boundaries and blocking away from people. Those are those same boundaries, is that same door example. They put up those boundaries and they don't accept the kindness, or they're not taking on the kindness to other people because they also don't want to be seen as that person that can't just be their own self and be individualistic and stuff like that. Now, that's like the root of kindness, is being able to do something for somebody else and not seeing it as I can't be my own individual and do my own things.
My father is a celebrity, and people have come to me and tried to be all cool, and then I find out that they just wanted to be near me because of who I was, and rather than, I treated them with kindness. I bought them lunch, they were my friends, I had them over, I extended my home, myself.
I feel like kindness is, as you said, people come to you because as you said, your father is a celebrity, and you're being kind back. And I feel like kindness is offered at the wrong times. Lots of people, as soon as lots of people at school find out I have a YouTube channel over 800,000 subscribers and that I've been spotted on Nickelodeon, I get attention. I get kindness.
Exactly.
People are like, I'll be your best friend. That's not the reason I want them to be my best friend. They should be doing the same thing even if I didn't have all that stuff. It's kind of sad when kindness is offered so that they think of it as a bargain rather than as an offer and not expecting anything in return. Because lots of people are always trying to be nice to me, and then when they think it's the right time, hey, can I have a shout out? I'm your friend, right? It's just it's just not it's not appropriate. And I just hope that someday I can find people who want to be my friend, who want to be kind to me because of what they see, and well, not specifically just what they see, but what they hear and what they from what they get to experience from getting to know me.
Yeah, I think just from what y'all were talking about, like people take advantage of kindness and they sometimes are kind because they want something out of it, you know? And I think that we all just need to be nice to one another with good intentions.
So let me ask you guys another question. How is the lack of kindness a catalyst for many of today's mental and emotional and social problems?
Yeah, I think that kind actions help with mental health and true happiness. Just doing a simple act of kindness for someone, you never know how that can change their day. It can change their day so immensely. And I think also, since we are in a pandemic and we can't go out and do an act of kindness, we can do kindness on social media because that's where everyone is. And I think just spreading positivity on there will really help others.
And it's so easy.
Yeah,
so easy.
Like the effort of spreading kindness on social media is nothing compared to like physical acts of kindness out in the world. And so anytime an act of kindness without being used without the use of social media is used on me, I take it I appreciate it like crazy. I mean, my mom makes me some chocolate milk, like so happy.
Like, dude, man.
I think the older lady like waved at me once when I was walking like in my neighborhood, and I literally still think about it because her smile just brought me so much joy. I was like, I'm keeping that forever.
I was even thinking of, like, I don't know how I'm going to explain to my children like what it was like to live in 2020. I don't think you're going to really understand what it was like unless you were there. Like, we are all old enough to like really grasp and like live in this, and you guys are in school, like it's affecting you, it's affecting like work, we're young, like this is affecting our lives. And
right now we need kindness more than ever. The generation depends on it.
Absolutely. And people are hurting, people are depressed, they don't see the end of this time in our lives. Like, I think it's going to be happening for the next couple of years, but it's not going to happen forever. I see statuses all the time that are like, if you're a Trump supporter, like you can't be my friend, like just unfriend me now. Like, why do you have such a blinders on? Why do you have such a lens like that? It's just politics. Like, that's so much more to a person than rather like what they believe in. And even just like the looting, and there's just the world is absolutely crazy right now, and we just need to take a minute and look at the people around you. It can be really small.
So Gwen, I understand that you have started a movement called the Spread Kindness Movement. Tell us a little about that.
Okay, well, I started the hashtag Spread Kindness movement when I was 12 years old. And through the Miss Texas organization, I was able to go into many elementary schools and middle schools and talk about suicide prevention and talk about my hashtag Spread Kindness movement and be able to share some positivity with them. Elementary schools, it's so different from middle schools because in middle school, I'm able to talk about more important things, where elementary kids, we talk about like sunshine and rainbows and how to deflect a bully and stuff like that. But I'm really happy that I'm able to have that experience. I have learned so much through the Miss Texas organization, and just from having my own platform, I think I truly have been living through it, and it helps me become a better person each day because I look for things where maybe I wouldn't have done it when I was 12 years old, when I was getting bullied, or I I think it's very important to me now that I went through that I'm able to go out and make sure that other people don't have to go through that.
We'd like to thank these two beautiful young ladies, Mayan Lopez and Gwennyth Simmerman, for joining us today.
If you know someone is being bullied, reach out to them. And if you have been bullied, let your voice be heard. And if you are ever having thoughts of suicide, please reach out to someone. You are not alone. Call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255.
I want to thank my amazing co-host Everett, and a great big thanks to everyone for listening to this episode of the I in Kind podcast. And remember, you matter.